It's late, but when you don't need it, the kettle takes forever to boil. How are we all doing? It's really nice and sunny over here. Again, really nice and sunny day. In the end, yesterday I had a bit of chill out in the garden, but I didn't get to go for my walk. So today's the last day. Christopher's got off school. He's back to school tomorrow. So I'm hoping we can go either for the bike ride or go for a nice walk with him later on this afternoon. So how are we all doing? Let me know that. Is it sunny where you are? Is it raining? What's the weather at your end? I love our little weather forecast every single morning. We don't need to go anywhere else. Right here, we got everything what we need. So today we're gonna be doing beaded beads. Now we have done these beaded beads before, and some of you might have only seen it. So it's gonna be a nice refresher for you. And some people out there, they're gonna be the brand new sort of concept for them to make beaded beads. I love them, and I'm going to show you my biggest beaded bead. I mean, look at the size of this. So this one is done with all the beads I'm going to show you exactly the same pattern. And once you learn it, you could make smaller ones, you could make larger ones, and what the kits that we put together, you could make very tiny weeny ones, but they look like little berries themselves. I love them. I really love this technique because it's very versatile. And I had, before we moved, I'm going to turn you down and show you, I had like a little pot puree in a bowl, and I had these beads in there as home decor. I'm just like going to bring you up the bigger ones, and they looked ever so lovely. When you got like 5 or 10 minutes, probably 5 minutes is not enough. When you got like 10 minutes, you can make one of them up and add to your collection. And I'm going to show you how much I have of all of these beads. I'll just move this out of the way. I made them before with crystal beads, pearls, glass beads, miracle beads. But let's go down and I can show you what I've done before. Then I'm going to show you the website very quickly, and I'm going to show you what we're making today. So the kit does contain 3mm pearls, which what you would be doing your beaded bead with. I'm going to do it with 8mm pearls, so you can really see it nice and big, and you will be able to follow the instructions. Good morning, everybody. I can see everybody saying good morning. Shiri's saying sun in the north of England, clear blue skies, but a bit cold. I haven't been outside. It could be cold here as well. It looks nice and sunny. That's why I love these bay windows here, because like I shut the brain freeze. I wanted to say curtains, but they're not curtains. Never mind. So when I open them, the sun shines into the room, and I don't need any heating at all. That will just really warm the sun will warm the room up for me. Right, so I'm going to turn you down, and I am going to show you what all the different ones I made before, and then I am going to take you to the website, and we're gonna get started. Right, let me just move this out of the way here. There we go. And we're gonna go down to the table. Right, okay, so my biggest ones, this one is my biggest one, and I'm just gonna grab I really want to show you up close. I'm gonna grab the ruler here, and you can see this is just like over 4 inches, and if you work in centimeters, this is like 12, maybe just over 11 centimeters, I guess. So it's quite a large piece, and they are 30mm beads. And then on the other end, like, we can make them really, really small as well. So look at these little ones. I'm going to give you a little bit more light so you can see them better. I'll just turn this up. There we go. You can make them in all sorts of different colors or sort of different shapes. I think I did them with bicones, I did them with rondelles, I did them pearls, I did them glass beads. These beads are all, and in fact, I'm not going to take them out of my little pot here. I'm going to bring the pot in there for you. These beads are all made exactly the same way. They all beaded beads, having the same number of beads on them, and I just really do love them. So in my old house, I had a bowl which had, that's why these colors are dominating here, because that's what I had in my bowl, and every single bead takes 30 beads. So whenever you got a few beads left over, you can make yes, miracle beads are here for Joe. They're the large ones. I haven't got any small miracle beads when I have to make. I made like a little bracelet before that with doing all sorts of different color pearls. I just love it. I really do love it. Right, okay, so that's enough of showing off my collection what I have here. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to very quickly pop you to the website and then show you what Simon has for us. And I'll show you the real samples just straight after. So I'm going to come back to the main screen, and then I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Right, okay, so you know the drill by now. Let me just go back to the home screen. You know the drill. You come to the website, you go into categories, video tutorials. If you haven't watched us lately, we have changed this video tutorials, and now if you scroll down, you can search the videos by date, by tutorials by kind, or tutorials by technique as well. Right, let's go into today's one. And I'm gonna pop down and I'm gonna show you all the different colors. So you know me, I can't just play with one color. So we got plenty of different colors. Now we had a big bundle available before, but we didn't have the colors separately available on the website, and that's what we did. We pulled everything apart, and you can buy them separately. They're usually £18 and then down to $14.99. So Simon again has given us a really good offer. I'm just going to pop in here and show you what's inside them. So each one of those kits, you do get 3 strands of the 3mm pearls. You get a strand of 6mm, a strand of 8mm. You get a strand of the triangle cut crystals. They are gorgeous. I will show you them in real life in a minute. You get thread and needle, you get tiger tail, and all the trimmings, all the clasp, what you need to make your necklaces. Now, it's gonna make a lot because there is about 130 beads on a 3mm strand, and you need 30 beads for one bead. So you're gonna make over 10 beads, 10, 13, about 13 beads I reckon you can get out of one kit. That's your beaded beads. And then you, of course, you got all the other beads what you're going to be filling them with. Usually $17.99, $14.99 today. There are loads and loads of colors there. Right, okay, so let me come back to me, and I'm going to go back down to the mat, and I'm going to show you the samples what we had made up. I love them. I really, really do love them. Because of these crystals, they got this special cut on them. They're so nice and sparkly that whatever way they are catching the light, they will be really, really sparkly. So this one is called the Mermaid Pink. I'm just going to pull up the website and want to give you the right color names. So this one is called the Mermaid Pink. It's got like a pinky and a sort of goldy finish in them, and you get this really nice magenta color pearls with them. Right, next one we have got the black. So in the black one, what I did, you got the black crystals, but you do have the kits kind of named after the crystals themselves. You have got the silver beads, the silver glass pearls. So they're gonna be, let me just, if I open this, I can actually just put them out like that so you can see them all together. There we go. Chef is saying, I look like a Christmas kid. I really do love these ones. Right, moving on. The next one is, this one is the silver white. So it's hence the name as well. We got silver crystal with white pearls. Then we have majestic pink, which is this one right here, which has got more of a blue pearls, but the crystals are majestic pink, so overall is more of a blue color of the necklace. We also have the hint of blue, which is a really nice and light color. This is the blue rainbow. Let me just grab the hint of blue. This is the hint of blue. So the hint of blue, again, the crystal is hint of blue. The pearls are blue. They got a tiny bit of a purple hint to them, but they are more blue than purple. You wouldn't really see it on it, but it's such a lovely color of blue. Then we have this one is the blue rainbow, and it's more of like an aqua color. There is so many of them. I love them. We have the lavender, which is this one here. Just undo this. The lavender is got a lavender color pearls in them, and the crystals is like a purple, and there's like a purple and blue and aqua hint into them. It's a little bit lighter than the one before. I just really do love it. Right, we have got the dark turquoise. I don't know, it doesn't say the name. Let me just click on it. Dark turquoise, yeah, that's right. We have got the dark turquoise pearls with these gorgeous crystals as well. Of course, we have got the gold. I love the gold as well. The gold is sort of have got more like a burnt umber crystals with them. I'm gonna have to swoosh these ones up. That's a really nice colorway as well. I hope I haven't left any out. Have I left any out? Let's just quickly have a look. I think, no, one more. We got the green gold. So the green gold is more, it's called green gold because the crystal's called green gold, but in fact, again, this one is blue. So the green gold color, it's more like a greeny blue, but it's a most beautiful color. I really do love this color. This one, not like a denim blue. I can't really explain it very well, but it's sort of maybe an ice blue, I guess. But this one is called green gold on the website. So I think that's it. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, we're missing one. Which one are we missing? Hint of blue, jet black, lavender, majestic pink, mermaid pink, silver white, black, blue rainbow. I don't know. I got, or is that the, no, that's it. I think I'm missing one of the samples. So that's all the colors we have, but look how sparkly they are. Right, okay, let's get started with how to make the beads. I'm just going to move these things out of the way here. And what I'm going to do, so in the kit itself, you do get 3 strands of the 3mm. You do get a strand of the 6mm, strand of the 8mm. You get the crystals as well. And you will be making your beaded beads in the 3mm. Now, what I'm going to do today, I'm going to make the beaded bead in the 8mm size so you can really see how you can make the bead itself. And also what I'm going to do, I'm going to use 2 different colors, so it's really going to show up what we are doing and where you have to go through. We can use even 3 colors as well, just sort of really highlight what you need to do. Let's use these 2, they go nicer together. So I'm just going to get at a thread and I'm going to thread my needle on it. There we go. That will be a nice color to match. Now I'm not going to use any seed beads in between. If you wanted to, I got a sample here with like 3 different colors, so it shows you how we are going to build this all up. That's great. How is it all going to come together? Oh yes, I have got one. So once you get a little bit more comfortable with how you make these beads, you can add seed beads next to your beads, make them sort of larger holes and a hollow. I love it. You could have another bead inside this one if you wanted to. Right, okay, so I'm just gonna take my needle and I am going to thread my needle up. There we go. Hopefully I can find a nice and straight needle. Sometimes you can't find a straight needle in my house at all. Good morning, everybody. If you just joined us, we are doing the beaded beads. I love this technique. I made hundreds of these over the years. I really do love it. So we're going to need 30 beads. And I'm going to show you on this one. So we're going to start off with 5 beads at the bottom, and then we're going to add this layer. That's going to be our second row. So going around, we're going to add these beads, And then after that, we sort of increasing, and then we're gonna decrease our rands together to form the top part. But we always start with 5 beads at the bottom. So I'm just gonna cut this up and get a few. I'm gonna do the lighter color at the bottom, and then perhaps do the lighter color at the top, the darker color at the bottom, lighter in the middle, and then do maybe darker color, dark at the top as well. So I'm just going to pick up 5 beads. Now, if you're working with larger beads, I do suggest like you not, like if you want to make really big ones, you do want to knot your working thread and your tail together, because that gives you a really strong base. If you're working with smaller beads, it's not good to knot your tail end and working bead together, because the knot will seep into that hole. And I'm going to zoom in on this so you can see it even better. Let me just go down. There we go. Move this to this side. So if you're working with smaller beads, I don't suggest to knot the tail end together, because that knot will go into the hole and then you won't be able to go through that bead again. So what I am going to do, instead of just going through once again to all my beads, I'm going to carry on and going through maybe again another half a time or a full time. It doesn't really matter, but what I'm looking for really, so if I were pulling the beads apart, it wouldn't really get bigger. So that's, I'm looking a nice strong and solid base. I'm just going to go through all of these again, and I like to work away from my tail, so I'm going to go through that first bead again as well. So I went through twice all of the beads, so this is really nice and solid. Even if I were to pull these beads apart, they're not going to come apart, because I went through so many times in my beads and I didn't knot my bead together. Okay, so starting your beaded bead, what we are going to do, we are going to do little loops around our base row. Now I'm going to do this in lighter color. So we already have got 1 bead there, because we're always working with 5 beads together. We already have 1 of our 5, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to take these all the way down. So as you can see, my 5th bead is here, and I want to form another loop with this bead. So my thread is coming out at the top, so I'm going to come through from the bottom and pull this up nice and tight, and then I have 2 loops sitting side by side. So before I'm able to add any more beads, I need to step up. So I'm just going to go along my base row here, just going to go along here, 1 bead, and then I'm going to add my next section. However, here I have got 1 at the bottom I'm going to be used already, and I have got 1 on the side as well from my previous round. So this time I'm only going to pick up 3 beads. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to let these go down again, and these 3 is going to form a loop with the side bead from the previous round and the bead on the bottom row. So I'm going to go down on the side bead, and I'm going to go along the bottom row as well. And I formed my second little round. So they're just sort of sitting together just like that. Now I'm going to go along 1 more bead on the bottom, and I'm going to repeat what I just did, just like that. So I'm taking this out. I'm taking this thread through. I'm not taking anything out. I need that coffee. 1, 2, 3. Again, I'm picking up 3, and I'm repeating what I'm doing. There we go. So let me know in the comments if you had made beaded beads before, if you made these beaded beads before, and if you made them, what size of beads have you used? As I used all sorts of different ones. I'm going to pick up another 3 again. I'm going to go down to the side and that bottom one. and pull it up. Right. So as you can see, as I'm pulling it tight, it's starting to curve, but it's a bit more like flattish at the moment. So I'm not too worried about that. Now, our last round. In our last round, we already have one at the bottom. We already have a side from the first loop and we have another side from the last loop. So we're only going to need to pick up 2 beads. So I'm going to go along, not along just the bottom of the starter loop, but I'm going to go along the top, the side as well to get to the top of this loop, and I'm just going to pick up 2 here, and I'm going to let these go all the way down. Then I'm going to loop myself back. I'm going to go through the side from the previous loop and the bottom to form my final loop on here. And once I pull this tight, it started to become a little bit curvy, like it's sort of starting to cup itself, but not too much yet. We're gonna close them up just in a sec. So now, like we got our base row, we got a row around it, and we're gonna step up and do our next row. So I'm gonna come up through there, the side, and I'm gonna go through one of these loops. It doesn't matter which way you go, whatever is more comfortable for you. So again, we're gonna be forming loops of 5 beads. So I'm gonna use one from this loop, one from the previous loop to loop them together, and I need to add 3 as I start. Now I'm gonna add, let me just take some more of my strand here. I'm gonna add 1 light one, 1 dark one, 1 light one. And I'm going to come through, I'm going to loop back on myself. I'm going to come through the previous one and that one and pull this up nice and tight. And then I have my next little rounds are sitting on there. Now I'm going to have to go along, and I'm going to have to go along 2 beads. So I'm going, if you like these beads on the top of our previous deal, they become our sort of base ground right now, and we're going around them all the way. So I'm going to go along the next one and the next 2 bead which were sitting towards the top there, and I'm going to go ahead and add my next little bead. So now, because I have got 2 beads at the bottom, I got 1 bead on a side which I need to link in from the loop I just did. I just need to pick up 2 beads. So I'm going to pick up 1 light one, and I'm going to pick up 1 dark one. And then I'm going to go down through the side of the previous one. And then I'm going to go along those 2. Right, Victoria's asking, what is the smallest bead you could use? You could do this with seed beads if you like to. Any bead which is let you to take your needle through over and over again. I think I've done them in seed beads before as well. No, I know I've done them. But the thing, I was looking in a box if it's here, but it's not in that box. So you could do with all sorts of different beads. Now I'm going to go along on my base line as well, or on the top of my second row, go along 2 beads, and I'm going to repeat the same thing again. And can you see it's curving into now in a more of a ball shape. So as I'm coming out of here, I'm going to pick up 1 light, 1 dark, and then go down to the side of the previous one and along those 2 I just came out through. So in the kit you get 3 strands of the 3mm round beads. You get a strand of 6, a strand of white, they're more like sort of your filler beads, and then you get the crystals as well. It's enough to make about 13 beaded beads with the 3mm, but you could make them with the larger ones as well. Again, I'm doing the side one from the previous one and along those 2. I'm pulling this tight. Leanne is saying she have made them before, every size up to 10 millimeter. Bless you. I love it. Right, I'm here and I'm adding my last loop. So again, I'm going to pause because on my last loop, I got 2 on the bottom and I got 1 on a side bead from the first loop and I got 1 side bead from the last loop. So in fact, I need to go along the 2 bead and then I need to come up through that top, to the side bead to the top. And now I'm only going to pick up 1 dark bead and go back down to form my last circle. And the reason I did here with the dark beads at the edge, because then you will see which one you're going to have to go around and take your thread and sew them together, because everything is sewn together apart from these 5 beads. So I'm going to take my needle to the top there, just like that. And I'm going to go along around these 5 beads, just like that. Carol is saying she made some with 5 millimeter beads. You can make them with all sorts of different ones. I really do love this technique, and as you can see, I had loads. I got loads of those beads. Right, I have completed my thread path and I went around everywhere. Now all is left to do, and if I plop my bead then you can see it's a little bit squidgy, it's a little bit floppy. So from now on, what I need to do is to go round and round my bead, especially because working with larger beads, you have got larger holes on them. Just need to go around and follow any thread path you created to make the bead nicer and tighter. So I'm just going to go around these top beads one more time, and then I'm going to make my way and I'm going to wiggle in and out of all of the beads, going round and round every single time, pulling a little bit tighter. Just sort of turning the bead around, following the thread paths I had created. I usually go round and round until I either run out of thread or I can no longer take the needle through the beads. So really stiffen them up. With larger beads, you're going to have to go around it more. With smaller beads, not so much. Sally Ann is asking, yes, will you be able to watch it later or she has to go? Yes, once we finish this live, it will go on Facebook and on YouTube, and you'll be able to come back and watch it over and over again, so you can make your beaded bead. The kits are on offer at the moment, so instead of £18, then down to 15. I really do love it because, like, I can, if I just got 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I can just make 1 bead up and put it in a little ball. And it's a really funny story. Like, when I first made like little beaded beads, this is going back. We were still living in the old house and Christopher was quite small. So we are going back quite a few years. We've been here where we are for 5 years. So this is probably about 6-7 years ago. So I was sitting in the lounge and I was making these beaded beads. And these beaded beads and like, you know, I was up and down, and this was over a few nights. I wanted to make this necklace with all beaded beads. And then I kept losing these beads. And I'm thinking, surely I have made these beads up before. Surely I've done them. Like, you know, this is not the, you know, and I'm thinking I'm going mad. Like, where all these beads are going, they keep disappearing. So anyway, I finished I made more beads up. I finished the necklace and I never really thought much of it. And then about 2 months later, we were clearing out Christopher's bedroom. We were sorting out the toys and we were just sort of having good clear out. And he had this little pirate chest. And I opened up this little pirate chest and there were all my little beaded beads. The little monkey kept nicking my beads and taking it up and putting it in his pirate chest because he thought it was treasure. I loved it. I really did love it. So see, as I go around it, can you see that it's less floppy now? But I'm still going to carry on going round and round until I get a really nice and tight finish. Yeah, I can add something inside. You could do that as well. So when you're doing your beads with a little 3mm pearls, because the 3mm pearls are not going to have so much, the hole is not going to be too big, so you're not really going to, you won't be able to do this to go round and round so many times. So with those pearls, but and you know, I don't even like pay attention here. I'm just going round and round, and what I'm looking, I'm going to remove this out. Can you see there is less thread path up here than there is more on the bottom? So I'm always going around the way where I can see the thread path is less than in a neighboring circles. But when you're making your 3mm ones, because we can't do this and can't go around so many times to make them really stiff, and we don't want to see the tiger tail going through right in the middle of the bead. And I'm going to put this down because I think you get how is it made now. So I don't want to see the tiger tail. Can you see the tiger tail there? I don't want to see the tiger tail inside my bead. We can add a little bead, a little 6mm bead inside each one of those pearls. You could do crystals or you could do anything like that, because that is just keeping the bead straight. And then when you look through it, and I'm going to bring this up, when you look through it, can you see, oh, actually, I'll show you the black one, because the black one has got gray pearls and it's got a black bead inside it. So you don't really see more of a hollow inside, you see the black bead inside it. So when you're working with the 3mm, do that. Do make it nice and stuff a bead inside it. I wish I put pick on my first one was terrible. Oh, bless you. No, that Tina, it wasn't terrible. That was your learning curve. That was the first one you made. That one was like, you know, it's gonna that's it's a design feature. Whatever it turns out, it's a design feature. Don't forget, we got so many different colors on the website of this one, so you could go and have a look, and you can mix and match them as well. And once you learn the technique, do go ahead. I mean, look at those crystals, how sparkly they are. I really do love these triangles. Lucy Singh, I'm going to try this one again as soon as I have done my spiral staircase. Oh, bless you. Yeah, it's really easy. Just keep on practicing it. If it doesn't work out with a very small bead for the, excuse me, Christopher left his phone here. No. How do I put this down? No. I don't know how to put this down. It's stopped now, isn't it? It's like when somebody else's phone rings and you need to pick it up, and it's like, I don't know what button to press. And his phone is different from my phone. So, but I made the sound go away. That's what counts. I mean, he's saying I try between to give you a break. Yes, so do try and do these little ones. And even if you got 30 beads left of a 4mm strand of pearls or crystals, you can go ahead and make ones. If you got 6mm ones left, you can go ahead and just make one bead, and then it will be soon you will add up a whole collection there. Right, has anybody got any questions? I can't believe it's we are like so efficient today, like done the demo so quickly. Oh, Charlotte sent 50 stars. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Really, really appreciate it. Victor is asking, is there a PDF with the instructions? Yes, with the kits you get PDFs as well. And do you get thread with the kits? Yes, you do get thread as well, and tiger tail and all the trimmings to make it into a necklace, because once you made it your beaded beads, you're going to string this on tiger tail, and you're going to add your culottes, and you're going to add your ends and lobsters to have them on a necklace. Now, we could have had this on the thread itself, but I like it on tiger tail more, because tiger tail gives you, so with thread this would be properly softer, but with the tiger tail it holds a really nice curved necklace when you're wearing them. Do you go through 2 beads in each round apart from the first round? No. So on the first round we added the beads, and then when we got into the middle, let me just get this bead one back because this one is done in 3 different colors. So this was our first row where we added the 5 beads together. Then we added our 4 bead, then a 3 bead, 3 bead, 3 bead, 2 bead, and then we moved up to the top part where we are adding 2 beads from the row before and 3 beads on the top, and then you add 2 and another 2 and another 2, and in the end 1, so you end up with 5 on the top here as well. So you're borrowing beads from previous rounds as well to get them together. Oluyomi, sorry, I hope I said your name right, lovely, said she's looking forward to this. How many 3mm beads does it take to make a beaded bead? So each beaded bead takes 30 beads. So it doesn't matter what size of, even if the bigger ones, they are still, this one is still 30 beads on there. This one is still 30, that's the same size. Let me just pick this back up. So it doesn't matter what size you're making, they're all still going to be 30 beads. And I'm just going to come back here and show you some of the ones I made before in all different sizes. Smaller ones, larger ones, I really do love it. And I did have these ones, this sort of colors, not the purples, those colors I had in a bowl in the living room, and I love it. Crystals as well, so these ones not even rounds, these are crystal rondels. You can see you can make them, so any leftover beads you have in your stash, you can just make one and add to your collection. And I love having trinkets on the table, something really interesting, and these are definitely the interesting one. You can mix, look, pearls and crystals together if you like. Once you get comfortable with your stitch, you can really go and try out all sorts of different things with it. I have had played around, so I made more like an egg shape one. That's adding an extra row in the middle as well. You could do that as well. There's so much scope you can do. This one is a bit more of an egg shape, and I added the decorations on the top as well. I always work in rows to save confusing myself. Yes, that's a good idea. But there's plenty you can do with all sorts of different ones. If you get the kit, you get the instructions, you get the pearls, you get the crystals, you get everything in there. And then once you master the technique, you will be able to use up all the different ones. Joy's saying I made one with 12mm white miracle beads. It was the first tutorial of yours that I followed. It took me just, oh bless you. You have to send me a picture, Joe, of that one. I really would like to see, because like you always remember your first, don't you? And then you just edit, like once you made those little ones, you just edit together to make a necklace. I just like to play with them. I think they're just nice. They are beaded toys. So you know, children, or my son collects Lego. Christopher collects Lego, and he's got so much Lego. I collect beaded. Well, not collect. Well, I made beaded beads, and just for fun, just really for fun. It's a nice little thing to do when you got sometimes when you got a few beads left over. Just make them up. They are very tactile, yes, absolutely. And I think they're really interesting as well, and especially making them a couple of larger ones in the bowl and then I have small ones around it just really sets it off. And it's like having something handmade in each one of your rooms, what you have, and they don't have to be, you know, they don't have, they're not, it's, let me have a sip of my coffee. Joycing, I think it was the first picture I ever posted to the group. So when you do something like that, when you put like a ball of beaded beads out, it's all of a sudden your work, your beadwork becomes a work of art in your home, because you're putting something together, not because it's got a function. You're putting something together because it looks pretty. And that's what I love the most. So you can combine your techniques and make not just jewelry, but you can make other bits of the pieces as well. Mina is saying she might will try it with 8mm pearls. Lorna is saying, question, instead of stringing them together, could you link them together with a loop of smaller beads or seed beads? You could do whatever you like. Once you make each one of those little beads, and I have got some beads made up here, I usually, when I make them up, let me just take you back down and I'll show you. When I make them up, I just throw them just on a little, there we go, on the little tiger tail until I find a home for them. And when I find a home for them, or when I'm going to use them for a necklace, that's when I take them off this tiger tail and make a necklace with them. But you could do so many different things, because at the end of the day, all you're making is just a little component, it's just a little bit. You can add them on hat pins, you can add them on eye pins, you can do wrap loops with them, you could do all sorts of different things. You're just making a little decorative focal bead for your necklace, bracelets, or can you use semi-precious beads? Absolutely. You could use anything. The only thing you have to be careful with semi-precious beads, that they might have smaller holes. So the very tiny ones, like the one I got on this ring as well, which is, by the way, the tutorial is coming up next week, definitely wouldn't be good enough to make the beads, because the holes, you are lucky if you can go through them twice, but not more at all. But you can try. So if the beads have larger holes, then you can make them as well. You can make them with seed beads, you can make them with all sorts of different ones as well. Right, my lovelies, I'm sorry it was a little bit shorter today. Usually we go for an hour, but that's it really. There is nothing else I can show you with this one. It's so easy. Once you get your head around it, you can do, like, you know, all sorts of different things. Margaret is saying, I used mine as Poppy in a ball at Christmas. My daughter cannot catch her breath with the floral one. Oh, bless you. Send me a picture. I would love to see it if you got the picture of it. And I think, you know, it's just one of those things. Sometimes we bead because we want to make a nice jewelry. Sometimes we bead just for fun, and this is definitely just for fun. And sometimes you bead for, like, you know, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but because I'm love making it, I'm going to put it all together later on at the end, and then you create a work of art for your home. Right, everybody, thank you so much. Have a lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be back with hematite beads, and we're going to be doing with some elastic bracelets and some hanger beads, something a little bit easier for you. And I got it here on Wednesday. We're going to be doing a little pendants. I love it. I really do love these ones. So we're going to have a busy couple of days. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.